Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Chevy and GMC podcast. My name is Steven, and most people here will know me as Lucy Rado in the off-road community. I am out of Southern California, more located towards Orange County. And this show is actually being created to kind of showcase and introduce the Chevy and GMC drivers that are out there that are a part of the off-road, overland, and even momentary brain losses. This is, again, my very first time doing something like this, but also the pre-runner groups that are out there. I originally wanted to see if I could find a podcast that kind of did this specifically for Chevy and GMC, as I know that there are a lot out there for Toyotas and Subarus, the Jeep community, and I did not come across any. So I said, hey, why not just let's see if we can make one and get this going. So hopefully you guys stay tuned. I hope to introduce you guys to many drivers all throughout the states, hell, if possible, even across the world if they're out there. I would love to introduce you guys to the people I know. We can get a nice little time to get to know each and every single driver that's out there. In this case, again, as I said, my name is Lucy Rado. So I originally started in the off-roading world a few years ago. I want to say about 3 years ago. Bought my first truck, a 2019 Chevy Colorado. I went looking. Honestly, I did not get appealed really to the Toyotas or to the Jeeps. Definitely did not go for Ford. Long story there, but yes. I was always into Chevys myself personally. So when I went to go look for my very first truck, I was hoping to get me a 4x4. I originally wanted a Silverado in the beginning. I have a Silverado now. But I ended up getting, as my very first truck, a 2019 white Chevy Colorado two-wheel drive. And this particular vehicle was to get me to and from camping and going out fishing, just traveling, and eventually, maybe towing a trailer. Still have not gotten a trailer just yet. But as I kept going, I didn't know kind of how to build out my particular truck to kind of suit my needs and everything. So I did a little bit of what everybody else does, and I went on YouTube and took a look at how people did their stuff to vehicles. And then eventually, with the assistance of my niece, she actually told me the best place to go and check was Instagram. So I ended up creating an Instagram account for my vehicle. At the time, I didn't have a name or anything like that. And I just thought I'd try it out, go online and see what's out there. Made several good friends right off the bat after I joined. I want to say it was maybe two months after getting my first truck. I did Instagram. I made a couple of friends, joined a little group chat that discussed. Originally, we started off with just discussing Chevy and GMC vehicles. And then eventually it blossomed into becoming an actual off-road group, also known as SoCal Rigs. And that's with a Z, not an S. And SoCal Rigs invites all vehicles. It does not matter whether it's a Chevy, a GMC, a Ford, a Toyota, a Jeep, a Subi. No, all vehicles are definitely welcome. And I made a lot of good friends in SoCal Rigs. And it actually got me to go out and explore. I made a lot of new friends in, let's say, Cali Yodas and Battle Ready Rigs. I got to meet some people from Soft Road Nation. And as I was slowly starting out, I was just looking and admiring a lot of these vehicles that were fully built out for overlanding. And I wasn't even yet into the off-road portion of it yet, but just the way that the vehicles look, the tents, the awnings, the attachments, the gas cans, of course. It was all very appealing to me. So I decided to start looking into it. And then little by little, I did some modifications and upgrades to my truck. I started adding some lights so that way when I went and hit the trails, I'd have at least a little bit better lighting at night. One of my very first mods to my vehicle was actually purchasing some light bulbs, and I replaced them. Lost fit lighting. No sponsorship whatsoever, any of these anything that I discuss here. But yes, I started with that. Then I started adding some pods. I added some side step rails to kind of protect my vehicle, the tires. I ended up getting some fuel rims. They were really, really nice. I like them. I forget which particular tires I had originally purchased for that one. I think they were some Goodyears. Not 100% certain. It was about 2 years ago when I did that. And then I ended up getting a Prince roof rack I bought off of a friend at a very good price, because at that time there was long lead times for roof racks, and then of course the prices skyrocketed. So I was very fortunate to get it at a very good price. I never knock any secondhand use. I mean, if you can get it at a discounted and cheaper price and it still works, go for it, man. Not everything has to be new. I would definitely recommend, if you can get it, at a good price, doesn't hurt the bank, go for it. But yes, my 2019 Colorado was my very first truck. I had a lot of fun with it, building it up. I ended up going to my very first actual trail run was Lido Creek. Now, I didn't get to finish the trail run because I had taken my dog with me. I had a little Jack Russell Terrier by the name of Johnny, and he was getting car sick. So we pulled out. We ended up getting to like a quarter of the way. There was an exit for us to take to get down. And then, we ended up heading back home. But at that time, I also was running street tires. Now, Lido Creek is a very easy two-wheel drive friendly trail at the time. And then after Lido Creek came Santiago Peak, Pilot Rock, various dirt road trails. I've done Pioneer to Big Bear, and it has been a blast ever since. Definitely made good friends, and hopefully, I'll get some of them on here to kind of talk about themselves, how they got into it, and all that good stuff. And that was all when I had my Colorado. Now, it got totaled, I want to say, back in 2022, at the end of the year almost. It was in November. I was actually getting ready to go to a Grand Canyon camping trip, and I actually ended up getting sideswiped by a Jeep totaling my Colorado. And then I kind of went about a month and a half without a vehicle, going through the insurance process and whatnot. And then, got my payout and everything. And then I ended up finding, which is actually my actual dream vehicle, which was a 2014 Chevy Silverado. And it already came with the tow hitch and everything that I kind of wanted. I really wish I would have gotten the 4x4, but I have no complaints. My goal for this particular vehicle is going to be a pre-lander build. So a mixture of pre-runner and overlanding, because back when I did not have my truck in December, I went with a good friend of mine named Jeff. And we went along with a couple of our other friends, Final Frontier Motorsports and his brother and his family. And we went over to Johnson Valley for an event. And that was actually one of my first few desert camping trips, which was done. And then you could see a bunch of pre-runners out there. I had a good time. And I loved how all these pre-runner vehicles were just straight up like tearing through the desert. So I told myself, I think I'm going to end up doing that. And my goal for this particular vehicle, my 2014 Silverado, is going to be to make it into a pre-lander. I want to have capabilities to be able to go nice and fast and have some decent travel for my suspension and have fun in the desert. But at the same time, I want to be able to camp out and have my rig fully set up so that way I can just pull off anywhere and just camp out overnight or for a couple of days and disappear out there. So now I am beginning to, originally, just like I did with with the Colorado, I put together a list of the things I want, and I'm slowly working my way towards building it. I would love to eventually get long travel and all that, but that's something that's going to be a lot further down the line for me. Not right away. The vehicle itself is currently running pretty good, and I do my best to make sure that I keep that vehicle running nice and smooth. I have a lot of plans for the vehicle. Eventually, hopefully I can share it with you guys. I'll actually put it on my Instagram, as well as sharing some updates every now and then through the podcast channel that I made for the Instagram account for this podcast. But yeah, it's been pretty good. I definitely would love to continue to hit more and more trails. Now, I do not have too much fear of damaging my vehicle from time to time, albeit, yes, it will suck if it gets totaled again. But I know my vehicle well enough now that I can start doing a little bit more difficult trails. Now, I always like to brag and say that I basically treat my vehicle like if it was a 4x4, even though it's a 2-wheel drive, and I put it through hell and back. But I always do make sure to do maintenance. I make sure to check it after every trail run, make sure nothing's wrong or bad or damaged beyond repair that I would have to replace. But yes, I currently running it right now. I have it with a level kit on it. Currently running dial dynamic lighting for my lights. I have various pods sitting actually at home. I have yet to do the install for, just because I'm debating on bumpers and things like that I want to add to the vehicle. Hopefully, I should be ready by summer for, a little bit more clearance, but we shall see. I do want to hit some more trails. Like I said, I've only been to a good handful of trails. I've done Pioneer Town to Big Bear to Pioneer Town. I've done a few trails with my buddy Crush Groove in Big Bear, 2N something. I'm still learning the trail names and all that stuff, but it's through Holcomb Valley, and I've actually gone out towards like Hammett and all of those good locations, found a bunch of camping spots that are just amazing. We've gone out to like a bunch of events. I love the Rodeo X rig events. I love going to the Cali Yodas, or I don't know if it's Cali Yodas who actually runs it, but I think it's called Yoda Nights here actually in Anaheim, which is not too far from where I live. And it's really, really nice to just get out and mingle with various communities and, make new friends, go hang out with everybody who has different locations to explore. So originally I came up with the name Lucy Rado, or Lucy_Rado as my Instagram handle. I came up with that based off of, my vehicle had a bunch of lights, and I actually work for a light manufacturing company that actually makes high-end LED lighting for businesses and offices and stuff like that. So I actually got some lights from work, installed them in the bed of my truck and various locations on my vehicle, and they are super bright, and I mean really bright, especially since it's a 24 volt setup and not a 12 volt setup. I ended up having to buy a 12 volt to 24 volt step up so I can actually run these lightings. And when I did that, I was like, this actually gives me an idea for a name for the vehicle. Now, not bringing up religion or anything in regards to it. I thought of the name at the time would have been interesting, would have been Lucifer, but I'm like, nah, that's just kind of not my thing. But I did like the idea. And I got it from a TV show of Constantine. He actually premiered in this show called The Arrow for a little bit, and he always called Lucifer Lucy. So I decided Lucy Rado. That would be the name of the vehicle. And I still keep that name no matter what. Even though my 2019 Colorado is no longer with me, it's been totaled. My new 2014, my used 2014 Silverado has no name yet. I haven't felt a name come to me yet for it. But I'm going to maintain the name Lucy Rado because that's just how everybody knows me. And anybody who sees me knows me. They already call me by my real name, Steven, or they'll call me Lucy Rado. And I'm like, hey, yo, what's going on? So, yes. But yeah, that is how the name Lucy Rado came into being. I would say my favorite modifications that I'm looking forward to hopefully this year is to actually get my roof rack, and I'm kind of leaning towards front runner. I would really truly love to get me actually a what is that particular brand? I originally was thinking Prinsu, but I didn't see any Prinsu racks for 2014 Silverado. So I was gonna go with Front Runner because they actually had a slimline build, I believe, for the 2014 Silverado. And another company was Overland Rough Racks. It's also another brand that I would definitely love to get a hold of and put on my vehicle. I may even go down that road and get me a roof rack as well as a bed rack through Overland Rough Racks. They are very good, very durable, very strong and sturdy. I've seen it in action. It is a very good product, and I would love to get my hands on one of those. But for right now, like I said, I'm working my way up towards my build, and for the time being, I would love to get me at least something up there for more storage. I like to sleep, I sleep out of the bed of my truck, so I usually just throw a air mattress in there when I go camping, and I have my sleeping bag and a blanket and a pillow, and that's all I need. Go enjoy the stars over at Lake Isabella, Big Bear. I know it gets kind of cold up there, depending on the time of the year you go. When I was out in the desert, I slept in the bed of my truck. It was fun. You get a beautiful freaking view at night, all the stars. I mean, it's amazing. But yes, definitely have a lot of mods I'd love to get done. I have a lot of interest moving forward into, going out, exploring, hopefully getting this channel kind of up and going. I'd love to try to feature as many of the Chevy drivers as I can. I'm definitely going to be, if anybody wants to, come out on my channel, I would love to have you guys. We can schedule to record and make you guys each have, like your own little introduction to yourselves as well. So that way everybody in the community can kind of get a little bit to know everybody here and there. One of the nice big group communities that's doing some nice events right now is actually the GMC special. I believe they're actually getting ready to do a run over at Calico. I wish I could make it out to that one. I'm hoping to make it out to that one. I do want to get some stuff done real quick to my vehicle to kind of make it a little bit better, but we shall see. But yeah, definitely GMC Specials, very good group. Silverback 4x4, he is also a very good person to hang out with. He definitely knows some trails, so definitely hopefully to get a couple of those guys out on here soon so that we can definitely get to know them, hang out, talk for a little bit. But yes, these shows right now currently, we'll see how it goes. And yeah, I do want to shout out to SoCal Rigs and all the founders, Sal, Jacob, and of course the other members. We got Tucker, aka Woodsy. We got Nosmata, Matthew. Our boy Ace Ventura, aka Larry, out there, I believe out in Kentucky now. Yeah, definitely thank you guys for having the group SoCal Rigs going and running, and hopefully can't wait to hit some more trails with the rest of the group and hang out and barbecue and have some fun. Over at the GN Special, you have Alfred, Silverback, and a few other members out there as well. You guys definitely want to check them out for some good trail runs too. They definitely like to go out once a month here and there, I believe. Caliotas, well, I mean, you guys should all know who Caliotas is. They're pretty much big. They're pretty big out there. They're well known. We got Softro Nation, very good guys, very good group of people as well. I remember meeting them actually when I first got into the off-road community, when SoCal rigs first started actually becoming a thing. So yeah, it was definitely fun over at Fiesta Island and all that. Well, here's to hopefully, you know, a continuing growing channel. Hopefully get a lot of, you know, some good times with some of the users. We'll definitely have some fun. Eventually, you know, hang out, do a trail ride together. Other than that, I mean, not much I can say except for y'all stay safe out there. And if you're gonna camp out, always remember, you know, you pack out what you take in. Don't leave anything behind. Don't leave a trace. Have a good time out there. Stay safe. And in the words of Mav, keep on trucking. Y'all have a nice day.